You're watching a video I made, and shortly I'm going to ask you to come along on Thursday and watch me for an hour where I share a system with you that's been changing the way that I've been running my business. But just stick with me, because the things that you're watching could be quietly ruining your life. So this morning when I woke up, I came downstairs and my son was watching the TV. He asked me if I would come over and watch it with him. And basically we had a short conversation about him asking me if my name was Daddy Austin, which was quite funny. And then I noticed that what he was watching was somebody playing with toy cars and putting them into the garage and fueling them up. And I realized that that's the exact same toys that he has in front of him. Like, he could sit and play with those toys himself, but he enjoys watching people play with those toys because it's an option in front of him. Now, I'm not saying he wouldn't be happy to play with those toy cars if he was straight into that in the morning. He probably would be. But it made me start to think about a deeper problem we all have as adults as well. Now, before you think I'm one of those parents that just chucks my kids in front of Cocomelon, that actually really pisses me off. Like, when you go out for a meal now, you almost feel like if you don't let your kids watch TV so that everybody can have a quiet meal, you must be a bad parent. I'm pretty strict on what I let them watch, but I also believe that they need to figure out what they like and enjoy. So they get a bit of free time every day to do that. But anyway, after I was thinking about that for a little bit, I realized that as adults, we're the same. Like, we love to sit and watch things and learn about business ideas or motivation or these kinds of videos, and we watch them and we take in all the information, we feel a little bit better about where we are, and then suddenly we don't actually do anything, we don't take any action. There's always another thing we think we need to learn before we actually start putting the things we know in place, and most of us have enough knowledge to go and smash it and to go and make a great difference to our lives, our businesses and everything else. But there's a fear that makes us think we still need to know more before we actually do more. And as humans, being people that are supposed to create, like our whole purpose is to create things, consuming too much is something that's really not good. And I'm going to dig a bit more into that today, and hopefully you can leave this with a bit of an insight from what I've been through, because I did this for 3 years myself, but also how you can start applying the things that you watch and being more selective about how you take that information in and then apply it to your world. If you think about how many videos you watched this week versus how much action you took, it might give you a bit of an answer already as to where the problem lies. Like, there's usually something that you've been waiting to do for a long time that you haven't done. And I know for me, it's YouTube. I had an ambition at the start of this year to make 2 or 3 YouTube videos a week. It's end of August, and I'm still just made like 13 videos, and most of those have been through the challenge that I set myself to make 30 videos in 30 days. So I totally get it, but you can just audit yourself and think, what have I watched this week versus what action have I taken in that particular time frame? Now, I was guilty of this for 3 years. I kept buying courses. I spent $50,000 on different courses, programs, other things, and as much as I got a lot from it, I didn't take as much action for very long. It's almost like I felt like there was going to be some holy grail strategy that I could suddenly do, and 1, I would enjoy it loads, and 2, it would be like successful within a week. So I chopped and changed between many different things. I was on LinkedIn, I was on Instagram, I was on all of this stuff, until I finally figured out a system of how I can make 1 or 2 pieces of content and turn that into multiple pieces that grow my authority and people actually want to watch and enjoy, and they get some value from. And that's the whole game, really. Like, you can see right now, I'm sat on my roof, I'm sweating, I'm wearing a vest, it's a Sunday afternoon, and when I woke up this morning, I didn't necessarily want to jump on and make a video, but because I've started greasing the groove of that muscle, an idea came to me from something that was going on in my day, and I decided I was going to come and record it, because 1, I set the challenge, I put it out there publicly, and 2, I thought it would be useful and actually help my audience to hear what I've got to say. So what did I do this year before making YouTube videos and just getting out and doing it? Well, I went and bought new Sony AS6400 cameras, because somebody who's a YouTube guru told me that my DJI Pocket 3 is not good enough to record videos on, which is literally what I'm sat here talking to you on now. I bought teleprompters. I went and got them set up so that I could read scripts. I then got paranoid about the fact that you could tell I was reading the teleprompter when I got the scripts. I did hours and hours and hours of research into YouTube creators that I like, so that I could figure out what they did, how they spoke, what their frameworks were, and then I built AI projects and multiple structures that would help me create these scripts so that I could read them from a teleprompter, which never felt like me. And granted, I got a lot of great frameworks that I now use for that, But it just felt so unnatural, so difficult. There was so much setup time. I was paranoid, spending hours and hours about the lighting, this. I live in somewhere brilliant. Like right now, I'm sat across the road from my house in an abandoned building with nice trees behind me, and I'm talking, right? So all of that stuff I know because I've done it. I spent so many things and so much time making excuses for actually sitting down and recording and talking to the camera. And that's what cost me 8 months of this year. Right? 8 months of this year just thinking I needed something else. Oh, when I have this next thing, it will all be fine. I even went and bought myself shirts so that I would look smarter on camera. I went and bought them for not only my sales calls that I used to do, but also so that I would look better in YouTube videos. I spent hours mining for stories where I'd had clients that, got a 10K win and all of these other things that every single marketing guru's got stories like that. Of course, it's not like there's some magic pill you can just take that's going to fix all of this for you. You need to take the action. At my worst, a year and a half ago, I even started writing my posts in American English because I was convinced that it was a bigger market in the United States, despite it being on the total opposite time zone to me. So I started writing in American English because I thought that would be better for people that wanted to buy my stuff. So I'm telling you from a place that is someone who's been through all of this and all of those feelings of I'm not ready, I can't do this yet, I'm not interesting enough, whatever else it might be that's holding you back. And now here I am, sat in a piece of dirt on a camping chair in front of a DJI camera making this video for you. None of that process and worry made me any better at making videos. The biggest thing that's made me better at speaking on camera is doing a podcast with one of my friends, which we only have like 60 subscribers and we basically make it for fun. And that was just to get rid of stop words. And the real thing I learned from it was reps. You got to do the reps will teach you the form, and then you will get better and better at telling stories. And that's the journey. That's the whole thing. So eventually, here's what I worked out, and it's coined as the term an information diet in some ways. But the first type of watching is you watch something that is very specific to a problem that you've got right now from somebody who you can see has solved that problem. You watch it or you read it, and then you apply it, and you get feedback from applying it, and you figure out how it works for you, and then you take the next piece of information. The second type of watching is just binging all kinds of things about mentality, about processes, about how to be better at content, about what frameworks you can use. This strategy is taking over YouTube right now, you should copy it, whatever else. These videos are good, but if you're just watching them over and over and over again, your brain has no idea what the fuck is going on. It doesn't know what thing to follow. Like, how could you know? You're just bombing it with information, various things, all of this stuff, and it has no idea on what to take action on, and it just trains you to consume rather than create. And we are meant to create. That's the whole point in us being here, right? Every single one of us has a part of ourselves that's truly individual, that nobody else can do exactly the same way. They've not had the same experiences as you, and all of that stuff is what makes you unique and makes you interesting to your audience. And the only way to find it is to do it. The real sad part of this is that the consumption was never the issue. It's the consumption without the action. I can tell you I've learned more in the last 2 weeks of making these daily videos than I learned in 3 years of watching other people's stuff. And now I enjoy it. I really enjoy coming out here, making these videos. There's still that bit of my psychology that doesn't want to get started, but like everything, action breeds motivation. And once I get out here and make them, I really enjoy it. I love editing them. It doesn't take me very long because I'm not like trying to do all these crazy B-rolls and other stuff. And if you enjoy that, fair enough, but I don't, so I'm not going to do it. And it's the same for you. You need to find that thing that you enjoy and then do it consistently so that you start to build a body of work up behind it and you start to improve. And if you're a coach, consultant, creator, or expert-led business, there's a massive cost to this, and it's a revenue cost. Because if you choose to be part of the audience of people that are in your own industry or in industries that you're trying to learn from, then you're one of the people looking for somebody interesting to watch. If you switch that up and you decide that you're going to create, then you become one of the interesting people that the audience wants to watch and wants to be part of, and therefore they want to buy your stuff. So ask yourself that question: which one are you right now, and which one's going to get you closer to your goal of running a successful business that gives you the freedom that you probably left your job or got started in this for in the first place? So if you're really done with it and this has resonated with you today and you don't want to sit in the audience anymore, on Thursday next week, I'm running a free masterclass. It's called Sold Before You Speak System. And I'm going to show you how I got to this point and how I'm doing it day to day in my business right now so that you can come away from that hour with something that you can take and put in action from the very next day. So if you want it, The link for it is in the description. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave me a comment. I'll always get back to everybody that takes the time to do that. And I'll see you next time.